sorry I'm missing you today. My daughter's having surgery, so you get to listen to me this way. So let's start our notes. Let's start with just the title first. Okay, so the date for this one, this is going to be Monday the 29th for you. So it's going to be 3/29/21. So go ahead and write down the date. Then I want this title, I want review notes, translating, solving, and solutions. So this is our notes, kind of notes/review assignment, even though there's not really any points for it until I do the notebook check. But we're going to go over examples that are going to be on the test, and then you are free to start the test after this. So go ahead and write down the title. If you need to pause it, Miss G, go ahead. And then let's look at this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is that translating that we've been doing. So remember, translating is changing the words to numbers, letters, and signs. And I'll show you an example of that in a second, so go ahead and write that down. Translating is changing the words to numbers, letters, and sounds. And feel free to pause anytime during this to write stuff down. I'm not going to pause on my end, so you go ahead and pause when you need to. So let's look at an example. Okay, so on our test, remember we're going to have, for translating, we're going to have to translate it, and that's going to be the equation answer, and then we have to solve it, and that's going to be an answer, okay? So our example says 4 more than x is equal to 27. Remember what that more than means to add, right? And then equals to, or equal to, means that we just put our equal sign. Okay, so if we were going to write that out, we want 4 more than x is equal to 27. I always put my plus sign in first. We want 4 more than x. And when we're adding, it doesn't matter what direction. So the x could go there, we could flip-flop it, it'd mean the same thing, because when we add, we're going to get the same, right? And then is equal to, so that is should be included in that. And that's our equal sign. And then we need to bring that on that 27. Okay? So that's your first answer in your first box. 4 plus x equals 27. Now we want to solve it. Okay? So let's solve it. I'm going to solve it. Do I have room over here? Yeah, let's do this. Let's solve it under here, because I'm going to put our answer over here. Actually, we'll solve it here. I'm going to rewrite it, since that first one is our answer, our first answer. So remember, this is addition, so we want to do the opposite, and we want to subtract 4 from both sides. That way, this 4 cancels out. Then we subtract 4 from our 27, and then we're left with 23, right? So x equals 23, but remember, it already has our x, so we're just going to put this 23. So this is our first box. This is our second box, okay? Go ahead and pause it if you need to. I'm going to do another example. All right, let's look at another one. Okay. So we have the difference of x and 19 is 44. I want you to write that down. And if you need to pause to do it, go ahead, because I'm just going to keep working. So the difference of means to subtract, right? And then this word is our equal sign, okay? So the way we write that out is, remember I always do my sign first. We want the difference of x and 19. So we just put x on this side, 19 on this side. Is means equals, and then 44 on this side, okay? So that's our first one. I'll go ahead and put it in a box so you remember that's our first answer in our box. Then to solve it, we're just finding what x is. So I'm going to write it down kind of over here again so we can solve it. And remember, we are doing the opposite of subtraction, and we're adding. So we're adding 19 to both sides. Those cancel out. We're adding to 19 on this side. And then we should get x equals, we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to carry our 1, and then 4, 5, and 6. So we should get as our second answer, we just have to put in the 63 because the x will already be there. Okay? Go ahead and pause. And then you could ask questions or anything if you need to. Alright. Let's look at what solving means. Okay? So, solving, that means to get the variable alone by doing the opposite operation to both sides. And we did this already, right? We did 2 examples of this already. Along with translating, right? Did a double whammy. Okay, so let's look at this guy. We want to solve for x. So, we have x plus 3 equals 5. This is addition. We want to do the opposite, remember? We want to subtract 3, so those cancel out. And then subtract 3 on this side. So we're left with x equals 2, right? And remember, I believe you only need to put in the 2. It should already have your variable there. Okay? So go ahead and pause that if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and do another example for solving. Okay, let's look at... I'm all stuck. There we go. Alright, let's look at this one. X minus 6 equals 3. This time we have a subtraction, right? We're going to do the opposite, and we're going to add 6 to both sides. That 6 cancels out. We're going to add a 6 to this side, so we're left with x equals 9. And remember, you're just putting the 9 in the box. If you put the x in there, it will mark it wrong. Okay? Go ahead and pause if you need to. Now we're going to look at solutions, because we have problems that we have to find a solution for. I'm just going to copy this down a little darker here, because with my whiteout it looks a little funny. And then I'll read it to you. Okay. So when we're finding the solution for something, remember that's just finding out if both sides of the equation are equal by subtracting the variable for the number giving, or substituting the variable, which is our letter, for the number that we are given. Okay? So go ahead and write that down, and then we'll do some examples. Pause it if you need to. And let's look at this. So this would be an example of a solution problem. You're going to get something like this. 2x plus 8 equals 18, and then you have this funny looking thing that's a semicolon and a 6 behind it. That just means that we're taking this 6 and we are plugging it in to that where that x is, okay? So when we rewrite it, it's going to look like 2 times 6 plus 8 equals 18. We're just putting the 6 where that x is, okay? And now by doing that, remember that is a product property, so we want to multiply. Product is multiply. So we're going to say 2 times 6, and that would give us 12, right? Now we want to bring down the rest of our equation. So all of this is going to go down. That's going there, that's going there, right? We're just bringing it down. Now our next step is to add these together, because we only want one number on each side of the equation, right? So 12 plus 8, that gives us 20, doesn't it? But then we got to bring down our equals and our 18. So is 20 equal to 8? No, it's bigger, right? It's not the same thing. So you're going to put no in your box as your answer, because 6 is not a solution for x. Go ahead and pause if you need to. I'm going to do another example. Alright, let's look at this one. So write this one down. We have 2x minus 5 equals 1. And then we have that beautiful little semicolon with a 3. So we're just going to see if 3 is a solution for x. And remember, we're taking our 3 and we're plopping it where that x is. Okay? So we rewrite it, and it looks like this. 2 times 3 minus 5 equals 1. Okay? So remember, they're right next to each other. We do multiplying. And we put the parentheses because if we don't, it's going to look like 23, right? And then we're going to get confused. So let's multiply this. 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down our 5, bring down our equal sign, and bring down our 1, right? Because that's all part of our equation, okay? So 6 minus 5 is what we're going to do next. That equals a 1, right? And bring down our equal sign, bring down our 1. Is 1 equal to 1? Yes. It's the same thing, right? So yes will be in your box for your answer. Go ahead and pause if you need to. Actually, I think, hold on. Nope, that's it, guys. All right, so go ahead and ask Miss G any questions that you might have, and start working on your test. See you guys later.